Donkey Kong Country. No, not that one. That's right. Oh wait, that's close but still not right. That looks about right. So Donkey Kong has had a number of appearances through the years. Many of those appearances are also in the specific game, Donkey Kong Country Returns and DKCR HD. First releasing on the Wii in 2010 as a spiritual successor to the original SNES game, this game was an evolution on the already solid format that DKC created. Obviously this game does tweak a few things mechanically and visually, but the aim was to try to create something similar enough to attract older players and newer players who hadn't played the original, which I think worked well here. Now the actual topic of this video. Donkey Kong Country Returns and its sequel have both been recently remastered and re-released for the Switch, and subsequently the Switch 2. Both Switch versions also have some differences in their content, which is what I wanted to highlight in this video. The Switch port of this game adds multiple new game modes to the standard game. One mode specifically to match the health system from the sequel, Tropical Freeze. More recently, however, Nintendo released a free update for the game that adds a new time-based game mode as well as a new playable character. That being Dixie Kong, who is prominently featured in Tropical Freeze. They also improved the graphical quality of the game, but who really cares about that? I completely forgot to mention the 3DS version, which added a bunch of new stages that the Wii game never had, which were later ported to the Switch version. So essentially, the Wii version is the original version, the 3DS added levels, and then the Switch version combined all that together and some stuff from the sequel Tropical Freeze. See how this gets kind of weird with it all? And I mean, Donkey Kong doesn't even get the worst of it. Look at the Last of Us series. Each entry has entirely new content despite only having 2 games in the franchise. The Last of Us first released on the PS3 in 2013, featuring a story mode and the online multiplayer. The 2014 remaster kept the same content while changing a lot of the characters' facial designs and some of the basic game details. Then The Last of Us 2 changed the series as a whole, gameplay and aesthetic-wise. So the Part 1 remaster was made to match the style and feel of the second game while also changing the second game's retcons into being completely canon. Wait, I thought this guy's scrubs were green before. The Part 1 remake also completely removed the online mode and instead added a model viewer and some skins you can unlock. This was totally worth losing the online. One good thing the first remake did do was include the DLC as a part of the game so you wouldn't have to buy it separately or, God forbid, as its own game like they sold it sometimes. The Last of Us 2 did a similar thing, releasing on the PS4 and then having a PS5 remaster that is the exact same game, besides having the no return mode. This mode is actually pretty fun though, so I give it some points on that. It's essentially a roguelite mode where you pick a character with specific attributes, then try to survive each level until the final boss. Each level can also have a random set of modifiers that change the gameplay, like the enemies being invisible. God, I hate that one. I've always found it a little weird when content is removed or added when a game is remastered, as I feel it changes the game too much in many cases. I still do think that most additions to games are good, like the aforementioned no return mode, but a lot of the time it just feels kinda odd to see features be removed or new ones be added, especially if they don't fit the original game all that much. There are definitely a lot of games I didn't mention that relate to this topic, like Captain Toad for the Switch having 4 different levels than the original Wii U version. The Wii U version levels also having been removed since they were related to the latest Mario game, 3D World. I think it's also kind of weird to be replacing content in a lot of contexts and then still selling the game as the same, especially since Nintendo pretty much sells all of their games at full price, which is one of the major criticisms of Nintendo recently, and the Donkey Kong Country Returns Switch port. $60 for a Wii game with better graphics. But I mean, you can get 3 hearts now. And Dixie, I guess. This is probably a good thing though. More content is usually better. I would like to know if you guys have seen any of the games do this. I know I'm sure I'm missing a lot of great examples, so please let me know in the comments. Ciao, fellas.